Hey guys, and welcome back to the Own Your Voice part. Today we're going to be talking about finding your purpose. How the heck do you do it? One of the biggest questions that people ask me, not just my coachees, but people that I meet even for coffee, is they ask me this: Ray, you are now, coaching, owning your own global coaching business. How do you choose to be a coach? How do you know that is something you want to do? And you do it with so much passion as you're speaking on stage. How do you find out that you want to do coaching? If you're someone that's in the personal development space and you follow personal development content, then you'll probably see content along the lines of finding your purpose, how do you do it, what is your purpose, things like that. And I want to ask you this: have you been having that question in your mind, asking yourself, what is my greater purpose? And does it feel like you're just hitting a wall and you just can't figure it out? If that is you, then this podcast episode is basically going to address that. At the end of this episode, you're going to feel a lot lighter and you're going to feel like, hey, I have a couple of steps in mind to really discover what my purpose is. So before we dive into the three major ideas that I want to share with you today, let's define what purpose is. If I were to give my own definition of purpose, I would say that purpose is essentially serving a cause greater than yourself. Okay, serving a cause greater than yourself. But the problem is this: a lot of my clients who come to me and they want to find that greater cause beyond themselves, they're like, hey Ray, I want to figure out what I'm meant to do on this earth. I want to find my purpose. They want to, but every single day they come back from work or they come back from their business building activities feeling so tired, drained, and worn out. That is the worst state for self-reflection and introspection, which is necessary in finding your purpose. And so the first major idea that I want to share in this podcast episode today is the importance of filling your cup first. Once again, I mentioned I have a couple of clients who come to me wanting to find their purpose, but the problem is they're drained, they're tired, and they're unfulfilled in their jobs. It's really hard to think about your purpose when you're feeling drained and maxed out. Right? If you're working 9 to 6 every day and then you're catching up with your friends in the entire weekend, once you're home, you're already so tired, you just want to chill in bed and just Netflix, then how in the heck are you going to, find your purpose? In fact, let's not talk even about finding your purpose, but serving others around you in the first place. There could have been many opportunities where you could serve the people that are already around you, but you were just not aware of it, or you just couldn't have the capacity to serve them because you're so tired. Have you ever had a time where a friend comes to you and they kind of want to have a shoulder to lean on, right? But you're so tired, you just cannot listen to what they have to say because you're so tired. Well, you see, that's an opportunity to serve someone around you, right? And purpose is serving a cause greater than yourself. So in that moment, you could actually be serving a cause greater than yourself. You could actually be serving that friend of yours, but you're so tired that you just don't have the capacity to. The thing about finding your purpose is that it requires in-depth reflection. It requires introspection. It requires time away from all the hustle and bustle. And this cannot be done with a tired brain. And so how do you fill your cup first? You need to take care of your physical energy and your soul energy. When I talk about physical energy, I'm really talking about knowing your body and what works for you. Allowing yourself to be at that state where you wake up feeling actually awake, right? Not rubbing your eyes and not really having the full attention for the day. So you need to take care of your sleep, your food, your exercise, giving your body what it physically needs in order for you to actually have the energy and the capacity to serve. The second thing is soul energy. Soul energy is the energy of your soul. Doing things that make your heart sing, that makes you feel fulfilled. Hanging out with people who makes your heart feel warm. Walks in nature. If let's say you're really troubled and you're really unsettled, then it's just not possible to have that time to reflect and self-introspect in order to find that purpose. You need to be able to give yourself time to calm down, away from the hustle and bustle, to just be at peace and quiet in order for you to be in that state of self-introspection and reflection, which is necessary for finding your purpose. So once again, the first point is to fill your cup first. Make sure that you are in the right state to find your purpose. The second big idea that I want to share with you is this: don't fret so much about finding your purpose. Don't fret so much about finding your purpose. Don't think about it. Okay, let me tell you a story. What does the bee do every morning when they wake up? They go and get nectar, right? Their goal is, I'm going to get nectar, I'm going to get nectar, I'm going to get nectar. And so they go and get nectar. But what happens along the way? What happens along the way is that they actually pollinate the flowers as they go and get the nectar, because they carry the pollen on their feet and it sort of falls as they go and collect nectar from flower to flower. That's how pollination occurs. Well, you see, the bee didn't wake up and go like, you know what? I'm going to be the best pollinator in all the land. The bee didn't go, I am going to fulfill my purpose and pollinate the flowers. The bee just woke up wanting to get nectar because that's their job. Their purpose gets fulfilled in the process of doing what energizes them, of doing what their goal is, which is what energizes them, getting nectar, right? Feeding themselves, feeding their family. And so it's the same as for you as well. Instead of thinking about finding your purpose, take some time to look at what you feel energized doing. What fills your heart? What energizes and inspires you? What's the work that when you do, you feel like the entire world fades away and you're just so happy doing it? What do you like doing? Because you see, right, this is what I believe. We are given specific talents, gifts, and interests by God or by the universe because we're meant to act on those interests and it will fulfill our purpose accordingly. And in fact, let's just be logical about this. It's so hard to think about serving others when you yourself are not fulfilled, when you yourself are not happy. So it's so important to be happy first. Ask yourself, what are the activities that energize me? What are the work that I do that energize me? Do you love speaking to people? You just absolutely love building relationships? Or do you love creating systems? Or do you love being on stage? Or do you love maybe working with money or numbers? Whatever that you love to do, identify what they are and do work related to what you love to do. Because you do it faster, you do it more efficiently, you do it more high quality, and you're able to actually do it with passion. And by doing so, you do the work even better than other people out there, and you will naturally fulfill your purpose. I highly encourage you to go and take a look at episode 3 of the Own Your Voice pod, how to contribute purposefully even when your job gets mundane. I have a set of questions over there that can help you discover what energizes you and what fills your cup. So when I first started my journey of discovering my purpose, I didn't know where to start, right? I barely even knew what I wanted to do with my life, much less figure out how I want to contribute or whatever my purpose is. All I wanted was to wake up every day feeling excited about life, not dreading my day from even starting it out. I want to have a reason to get out of bed. And so I placed my focus on understanding what energizes me, identifying what makes me feel alive, using those same questions in episode 3. When you keep doing things that makes you feel alive, you naturally feel energized and you do better work. And when you're invested in the work, you're closer to actually serving your purpose and creating that significant impact. So this really goes back to filling your cup, right? As I mentioned before, you can't serve others if you don't serve yourself first. So start using those questions in episode 3 and start the process of identifying what energizes and inspires you and follow your gut. It'll lead you to serving your purpose eventually. And last but not least, the third big idea that I want to share with you is this. Listen to the people around you. Sometimes they might see things that you are blinded to. Sometimes you live with yourself 24/7 that you don't even notice when you have grown, or you don't even notice certain things about yourself that people notice. And that is why it's so important to listen to your friend. I come from a Chinese tradition, so I would like to share the story that is really quite funny. So every year during Chinese New Year, I will visit my relatives. So technically my relatives only see me like once a year, right? Especially those that I'm not very close to. And whenever they see me, they'll be like, wow, you grow a lot, huh? Or something like that, even though I didn't grow taller. Or maybe they'll say, wow, you look more mature. Or like, wow, they'll comment on something that I didn't even notice about myself. Whether it's the way I look, hopefully it's not because I'm growing horizontally, whether it's the way I speak, whether it's my vibe, they'll comment about something. But I don't notice it. Neither do my family, because we live with each other 24/7. And so sometimes it's important to hear from your friends what they think about you, to hear from your friends what they noticed about you, because they don't live with you 24/7. They could notice things that you didn't notice about yourself. But throughout my academic life in school, I always felt like I wasn't good enough. I find myself having to study 4 times as hard, taking way more time to get a decent grade. And when my peers got their grades, they usually did so much better than me. And I realized that they got those grades more easily and effortlessly as compared to me. And I mean, seriously, I was doing so many remedials. I was literally studying till like 3 a.m. in the morning, drinking so much green tea and caffeine. I did, however, got offered multiple leadership positions throughout my school. In fact, I was always either the vice president or the president in every club, in every school club that I'm in. I also was a grassroots leader, and I started emceeing when I was 15 years old. So people often ask me, Ray, how do you speak so confidently on stage? You're such a natural with people. You're so good at relationship building. And to me, I'm thinking, well, that's not a big deal. It's just talking to people, right? But actually, there are a lot of people out there that find it very hard to talk to strangers. There are a lot of people out there that find it very hard to take the mic and speak on stage. There are a lot of people out there that find it very hard to even start a conversation with their colleagues. And so I am actually doing something so effortlessly when someone else finds it harder. And for those people, they have their own strengths as well. But here's the thing. Sometimes you don't realize your strengths because to you, it is so easy. It is so effortless. That's why you don't think there has any value at all. In my head, because I don't take a lot of effort to start a conversation with someone, I'm such a quote-unquote natural. I don't like to use the word natural, but I'm maybe a bit more naturally gifted in it than others. I thought, hey, since I didn't put as much effort, maybe not as much value. But that's the thing. There's so many things that you do naturally and more easily and more effortlessly that actually is valued by others a lot. So if you're really good at math, you're really good at numbers, if you're naturally good at investing, if you're naturally good at leading teams, those things that you feel like you do so effortlessly, it is a huge hint to what your natural talents and gifts are. It's a huge hint to how you can actually serve your purpose. Little did I know that a lot of my friends around me that made these comments, they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. Or rather, maybe I did see in myself, but I didn't think it was such a big deal at all. You see, the things that you do well will be easier for you. And because it's easier for you, you might not realize that strength, that gift is very valuable. Third big idea, once again, is to listen to the people around you. If people say, hey, how do you do this so easily? Hey, you're so good at this. Hey, how do you do that? Note it down because that's a huge hint to what you do well. And so in summary, the 3 big ideas I want to share. Number 1, fill your cup first. Create the right state of mind for reflection and introspection. Have a morning routine, have a night routine. Know how to fill your own cup first. Number 2, don't fret so much on finding your purpose. Instead, understand what energizes you and do what energizes you, because that's a huge hint to how you can contribute to the world. And last but not least, big idea 3, listen to the people around you. They probably see some things in you that you don't see in yourself. So find out from them what your strengths are, what your gifts are, and then use that to allow yourself to discover your purpose by doing the things that you are good at and doing the things that you love to do. You'll naturally fulfill your purpose over time. To end this podcast, I want to tell you this. You are already serving your purpose without you realizing it. In your work, in your conversations, and in your presence. Take time to notice what you're doing. Take time to invest in your reflection and your introspection, and your purpose will find you.